So ever since I made the video, The Most Insecure Man on Earth, people were commenting and DMing me like crazy to tell me that he was indeed some sort of killer. So give me my credit, I said that these were the socks of a serial killer, and as it turns out, they were.
I had my meals prepared and I would eat them all by myself.
But this isn't any simple murder mystery, my people. There's a lot of questions surrounding today's case.
Australian man Jack Chapman died in the US under extremely unusual circumstances, and his distraught mum dug into just how Jack died. What she discovered shocked her.
So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, get your cigars out, pop some popcorn, chew on some little gummy worms, because we're in for a bumpy ride. The information I discovered in today's short documentary made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, gave me goosebumps on my arms, and even made my stomach hurt. Dylan Heferdipin, also known as Beef Noodle Online, was in the news, not this time for muscle dysmorphia, but when he was suspected to be the lead suspect in the murder mystery case of a Mr. Jack Chapman. Right off the bat, I knew there was something fishy about this tool bag, and as it turns out, he has some literal skeletons in his closet. You see guys, Dylan was involved in what they call puppy play, which we've talked about here on my channel before in the past, but just in case you need a refresher, it's basically a fetish that involves grown men getting dressed up in leather dog costumes and acting like puppies around each other. Someone plays the puppies, someone plays the mom, and I think we can all already guess the race of most of the people involved here.
Everybody loves a puppy.
Wrong.
And so this puppy play was merely the avenue that this sick Dylan was using to form what was basically his cult of big burly men, who all referred to Dylan as their master. First off, let me just say that anyone with this type of god complex is just sick in the head. He would lure them in with a soft little puppy play and then get more and more extreme as time went by. This guy literally had a little group of slaves at his disposal, and this guy Jack was one of his most loyal followers.
Jack's public posts suggest he was still under Dylan's control.
I know my son had free will, but he was not in his right frame of mind.
So basically, Dylan was in complete control of everyone within his cult, almost as if he wanted to rewrite these individuals' entire identities. He made them change their lives completely, forcing them to sign a contract to obey his every wish and command. First off, each slave had to legally take on Dylan's last name, they had to sign over their entire working salaries, wear metal chains around their neck at all times, and cut off all ties with everyone outside of their little clan. This is getting downright creepy, and really giving me I have a super secret dungeon where I store all of my body type of vibes.
I saw him taking that collar off his neck, and I saw him jump for joy. I've seen it.
My question is, what type of broken individual gets involved in this stuff? For this guy, I mean, seriously? What this man managed to do is basically own legal slaves here in America who were completely off the radar to society. I think that he did this because he knew in a lot of ways that he was downright torturing these poor men. And when this guy Jack died in the hospital, they didn't tell his parents for 2 whole days. He had been in a coma in the hospital for 2 weeks, and his family knew absolutely nothing because of the way they made big man over here cut off all contact with them. Of course, upon his death, this raised a lot of questions.
Imagine you've loved your boy all your life and you're seeing this sort of stuff, thinking that he's worthless and he's worth nothing. He was everything.
And this is the part of the documentary that really made my stomach churn, as not only did Dylan take this woman's son's life and her last chance to say goodbye to him, but he also made him write out a will just 2 weeks before he died, leaving every penny of his $200,000 bank account, which he inherited from his father by the way, to his Lord and Savior, the dumbass Dylan. And to his mother's surprise, her son was also cremated just 2 days after his death. Keep in mind that Jack's family was from Australia, so they really had no way to immediately go and see their son, who they didn't even expect to be dead in the first place. Now why would he want to do this? Hiding evidence of abuse perhaps? Because one of the other conditions of being in the cult is that you had to inject silicone in your man parts to make them blow up like a balloon and become unnaturally massive.
From what I can gather, it was just in the testicles. It may have been in the backside.
Jack's own text suggests Dylan had procured and supplied the silicone.
Not even like what someone would consider attractive huge. This was much more just like a circus freak. And this is what ended up killing Jack in the end, was an overdose of silicone. It really is just so sad to me, not only for the family, but also for this man Jack, who was going through such a hard time in his life that his brain was so weak that he could be controlled by this absolute monster. And when Dylan made the move to Australia to come and deliver Jack's ashes to the family, his mother absolutely rips him apart.
Jack asked me not to tell you unless absolutely necessary.
Well, don't you think it was necessary when he's on a ventilator, being in an induced coma? You didn't ring me straight away.
This guy is honestly the biggest piece of psychopath that we've ever seen on this channel. When she questions him about the will and why her son was cremated so fast, he tries to tell her that the guy insisted on leaving all of his money to him, and that apparently he knew absolutely nothing about this $200,000. Like, what an absolute crock of
I believe with all my heart you are wholly and solely responsible for my son's death. I wish you were dead.
I honestly don't know how this woman kept her composure. Part of me wishes she would have pulled out the Desert Eagle and put one between old boy's eyes. She tells him off for a few more minutes, and while she forces him out of her house, she tells him she hates him and she wants him dead. I honestly think I speak for everyone when I say I wish I could just give her a big ol' hug. You can tell how her son was truly loved by the way his family speaks about him, and I hope that one day they can find justice while this bastard rots in hell. Let me know what you guys think about the video today though, guys. As always, drop a like, share this interesting story with one of your friends. Follow me on my social medias, that's at JAMARI Speaks. That's Twitter and Instagram, where I reply to almost every single DM. Thanks for watching, guys. There's some other news out here that needs to get covered, so your boy is out. Peace.